How are you, people? It's a beautiful day today. I've woken up. As you can see, my eyes are still look like I've just woken up. And yeah, this morning I woke up with a bit of some clarity in my mind. My thought processes were a lot easier to articulate and express. I'm feeling very energetic today, full of light. Anyways, I thought I'd show my love for the greatest game on earth, football. Wanderers all the way. Anyways, this video is about a story which I've heard a long time ago, and it's just made some sense to me, and I've seen a bit of relativity in it in relation to what I'm experiencing as a targeted individual. Now, when you raise an elephant, when they raise elephants from when they're babies, they tie a thick chain around its ankle, and they bang a stake in the ground, they hammer a stake in the ground, and they tie that chain around that stake, so the elephant's only got limited space to move around. Now, as the elephant matures and becomes an adult, they remove the whole chain and the peg out of the ground, and they just keep the piece of metal on the ankle of the elephant. And the elephant goes its entire life thinking that it's still chained. It's amazing. You know, if you read all these stories, that they're very relative. Now, another story is a lot of native people used to hunt wolves, and how they'd hunt a wolf with a knife. They'd heat the end of the knife and they'd stick it in the ground, in the snow, and it would freeze up again and stay out protruding with the blade hanging out. And they'd put a bit of blood on the end of the blade, and the wolf will come and smell the blood and start licking, thinking he's having a feed. And obviously he's cutting himself and bleeding more, so he's drinking his own blood, thinking he's having a good old time, having a good old feed. But essentially he's killing himself. Now, who's to blame? The wolf or the hunter? Anyways, for all of yous out there that are targeted individuals and are plagued by the thoughts that these people can read your minds, they can't read your mind. They can only guess. Unless you make it a certain thought, unless you make it 100% a thought and then bring it forward to the front of your brain, the front of your mind, as you're going to voice it, that's when they can pick up on what you're thinking. If you keep your thoughts in the back of your mind and you keep variations of the thoughts, so there's different variations of the same thought, you throw them off. They may have a sort of general understanding of what you're thinking about, but they'll never be able to understand exactly. And as for them knowing what you're going to do next, your next move, don't plan. Don't write anything down. Don't keep calendars, and do not keep a schedule on a computer. Don't use technology. Do not trust technology. Technology is amazing, but if you're a targeted individual, it gives them better opportunity of attacking you, of harassing you. You know, just gives them more weapons. Everything is hooked up to the net. Whatever's hooked up to the net, they can tap into. It's not paranoia. We're living in a brave new world with technology that's just remarkable. And a lot of these people that are involved in this have been around for a long time and haven't had this technology as support and to help them with previous people that they've put as targeted individuals and targeted and harassed and put through the mill and treated them like they're criminals and illegal aliens or whatever it is. They just treat you so bad, like you've done something wrong. You know, a bit of advice for you people out there. Humanity, we've gone through the stages of evolution, so we've still got layers and layers of our brain, which are like from our previous biological evolutionary stages. So we've gone from reptilians to mammals to anything. So take your pick. All these predators that are out, all these animal predators, we have their understanding, we have their instincts, we have their capabilities on top of our human instincts. So that makes us stronger. As long as you keep your mind from folding, you're just going to give them hell. They may not give up. They may not give up. And every single time you do something that's effective, they're not going to let you know that it's effective. They're not going to let you know that you've put one over them. You know, this whole campaign is deception. It's to deceive you, to fool you, to keep you shrouded in a blanket. You know, always protect yourselves with the white light before you venture out into the dark. Always. And to all these people that are saying, oh, love this and love that, yeah, I love so much. But you gotta understand, life itself consists of positive and negative energy. Love and hate. You can't exclude one and favour the other. You've got to have a balance between the both. So you don't have to walk around like a tree-hugging hippie and loving everyone. You can fight back. You can physically fight back. But I advise not to do that, because it's always going to generate more of a it's always going to generate more friction between you and them. You don't want to provoke them. Okay, you don't want to arm them even more. You want to sort of render them incapable of harassing you. That's all you want to do. You want the harassment to stop. You want the gangstalking to stop. You know, so even if a target individual goes out and finds out who their attackers are and physically attacks them from frustration, I don't judge you people, because many a times that's gone through my mind, many a times, but saner minds prevailed, thank God. Anyways, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. There's going to be days where you're feeling really low, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point. I'm not some expert on the matter. I'm just going from the experiences that I've had and sort of from my observations and whatnot. I could be very wrong in my observations and my thinking, but as long as you keep your mind open to possibilities, you're on the right path. The second you close your mind off, you're finished. You stop growing. They've got you. So stay out of any facility. Don't get incarcerated, because once you become incarcerated, your chances are very slim, very, very slim for your survival. They'll finish you off when there's no one around watching, when you're inside a facility, in a mental facility or in a prison or a holding facility, whatever. They'll have more reach to get to you, and it's very dangerous. In my predicament, you know, in America and other countries, it's not as difficult for target individuals because they have the option to flee. In Australia, you got no option to flee. You got to understand why Australia was found to begin with. This is where they put all the convicts from England, because it was a massive island and there was no escape. So to the target individuals in Australia, I feel with you, because there is nothing you can do. You know, in America, there's jurisdictions that overlap each other. There's government industries that aren't really in connection with each other. Don't really feed each other information. They withhold information from each other. But in Australia, every organisation, every industry cooperates. They all work together. It's a lot harder for a target individual if he's been stamped a criminal or stamped as something that the law has the right to sort of go after you. You know, in Australia, our judicial system, everything descends from England. And England has the best policing in the world. You know, they got the best agents, M16, they got Scotland Yard. You know, so the Australian policing and all these government institutions are very clever. They're not stupid. And there's a lot of people within these organisations that are good people, good working hard family people that don't have a clue what's going on. They've got no clue. They just look at the individual, the target individual, and obviously they've been told something negative about them, and they go with it. Because they trust their co-workers, they trust their superiors. They probably have drinks with them, they go and have dinner with them, they go to their houses, visit each other's houses and break bread with each other. So they're not going to think that the person that they've known for so long is going to be involved in something so heinous towards an innocent human being. Because it is a crime against human rights. It's a major violation of human rights. And the only issue is to get someone to listen to you and push your story forward, push your case forward. But there will be no one that will do that. They're all too afraid. They're all too afraid of reprisal, all too afraid of being victimized themselves, because This campaign, this attack, as many other targeted individuals have said on this YouTube, on their videos, I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. Not even my worst enemy I would not wish it upon. But I'm still standing. I'm still here. Sometimes I have my pitfalls, sometimes I have my highs. But you just gotta run with it. You gotta run with whatever you are at that day. You know, some days it's very hard to get out of bed. It's very hard to get out of bed. It feels like you've been running a marathon and you haven't, because your mind's been working overtime, your body's dead tired. So you gotta relish in relaxations. You have to relax your brain. Even if it is only for an hour, or even if it is just a day of the week, you have to set aside some rest. You have to. It's important. But do not wake up for one day and think that this is not happening. You gotta stay focused. You can't waver, because these people are like robots. This attack that's happening to you is a machine. That's all it is. And the people that are involved are gears to that machine. They keep it running. And all this machine wants to do is get you at all costs. Whether it's for you to kill yourself, whether it's for you to act out and go to prison, or to go to the police and make such a ridiculous claim, you come across as insane, or come across as someone with paranoid delusions or schizophrenia. Which isn't the case, because everything that they do to you is to invoke that understanding, is to get people to look at you in that light. You got to be able to differentiate between what they're doing to you and what is reality, and that's how you stay sane. That's the hardest thing to do, is to differentiate with the false reality that they try and build around you. It's the hardest thing. But as long as you understand that concept, you're able to snap yourself out of it if you get sucked in. I get sucked in, everyone gets sucked in. It's human nature. They appeal to our human nature. They've studied every aspect of humanity on a standard level, and when they've researched everything about you in depth. They know you in depth, but what they don't know is you can grow. And when you grow, you add more things onto yourself which they're not aware of. Or you could have had things already inside you, attributes and skills and qualities that you hadn't yet activated when they were studying you. They're not God, they're human beings, they make mistakes. But yes, they are powerful, they're not omnipresent. There are gaps, you slip through the gaps. Regardless how many people they've got watching you to report to them, you know, to report your every move. If you leave your home, one of your neighbours will phone them up and say, da 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 da, he's left, he's wearing such and such. So that when the stalkers out on the streets can get a better a description of you, they can find you quicker out on the streets. Do you know what I mean? Because yes, they are following you with GPS technologies, but these GPS technologies sometimes lag. You move too fast for that GPS to send that signal, and it throws them off, so it helps for them to see what you're wearing. Anyways, my friends, there have been a lot of people on here that have left videos and have helped me a lot, and my love goes out to you guys, and I thank you so much, because a lot I understood and I already had known, you guys just confirmed it to me. You know, and the thing is, if you know thyself, that's another very powerful weapon that keeps you going, is knowing yourself. They can't really hack you that easily. Anyways, to all the other TIs, keep going. Keep going. Let them put more of us in these programs, and let's show them what a human being is capable of. Let's show them. Don't break. Don't fold. You're not a wild horse that they're trying to break so they can put a saddle on you and ride you. You're a free-willed human being. Doesn't matter what your appearances look like, or what clothes you wear, or how much money you have, or anything like that. It makes no difference. As long as you're a human being, you're bloody powerful. And they know that. They're afraid of that. So wake up. Remember who you are. Sometimes I forget and I have to sit back and try and remember and collate it all over again. It's not easy, but you can do it. Remember, tap into your animal instincts. We are the human animal, the naked ape. Ciao.